It'll be live on YouTube now, but Instagram's loading.
Yeah, I'll just wait for the Instagram. No problem.
Okay, it is on Instagram now. All right.
All right, there we go. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Bring the Thunder podcast live edition after game. 141 to 106 against Charlotte. There's not much to be said. Guys played well, did what they were supposed to, came out injury free. And yeah, I'll pretty much leave it at that. We do have a guest on our live tonight. Again, if you guys would like to be on, we did post a story. Just follow that link or DM us on Instagram at Bring the Thunder Podcast. And we'd love to hear your thoughts about tonight's game. And I guess, Jack, without further ado, I will introduce our guests now.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody, welcome Josh to the stage. How you doing, Josh?
What's up, guys?
So yeah, Josh, I mean, I don't know if you heard me, but I was just saying, tonight was one of those games where you just had to do the right thing, play the right way, get it done, and
sure.
come out injury-free. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on tonight's game.
Honestly, whenever a team plays well against us, I'm honestly happy. We get to sharpen iron against iron. The Hornets shot the ball really, really well. Granted, they couldn't do really anything in the paint. But with the way that they shot the ball, I think it gives us another opportunity to, develop our perimeter defense without Lou and without Jalen.
Yeah, definitely. I take these games as, well, I guess I'll say I'll used to take them as like learning games, especially if teams are shooting the ball well and playing down to your competition. But this year is a little bit different. We don't play down to our competition.
Mm-hmm.
We play the same way every single game, no matter who we're playing. So I guess I'll ask you a question here, kind of based off this game, but really based off this season. I know we were just chatting it up before. You've been an OKC guy for 11, 12 years now. What's so different about this year's team that their foot is always on the gas pedal no matter what, and they're just, the best OKC team we've seen?
Honestly, I think it's our togetherness. We come together as a team so well that it's like, you want your boys to succeed, and once all your dudes are succeeding, then you all succeed as a team. I feel like we've never really had that. Even with Russ and Katie and Ibaka and, Adams, they were all like, cool with each other and everything, but it didn't really ever feel like they were like brothers, like this team feels like a bunch of guys, like a college team that are a bunch of brothers that are just going out there and hooping and are just happy for each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. What is it about like this team's real special? This is one of the better teams in NBA history in net rating.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some type of talent. I know that we have like the best chemistry in the league, but what about talent-wise?
Dude, we have never had two big men at the same time that have like really made an impact like Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet has. Chet's offensive versatility while also being a dog on defense is crazy. But then you got iHeart, who actually is like a really good playmaker. He's able to run on offense without Shea on the court, without Jalen on the court. He's able to play his own game with no matter who's out there. And honestly, I think that like Jalen Williams, like Jay Will, has really, really benefited from like playing with iHeart, being able to like open up his game. Honestly, I'm not saying that iHeart is the whole reason that Jay Will has like blossomed into the person that he is, but I don't think he is having these triple-double numbers without iHeart, at least as a guide.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a really strong point. I like to call iHeart, kind of like our engine.
Yeah, sure.
Runs the offense. We have a lot of guys who run this offense, but when iHeart gets the ball in his hands, a lot of backdoor cuts, off-ball screens, off-ball movement.
Yeah.
And he's recently been taking guys off the dribble, which is awesome to see.
Yes, seeing him get big in the paint has been huge. Granted, I would love to see him dunk on people more, but even you see him like in the later parts of the game tonight, being able to make sure that, he got that M1, he didn't convert it, but he still got that M1. He was able to strong finish through it.
Yeah. he's progressed as a player every season in the last couple seasons,
Mhm.
especially in New York. A lot of people thought this might have been a little bit of an overpay before the season started.
Not at all.
That is
Not at all.
clearly
No.
an underpay at this point. The way this guy's
Uh-huh.
blossomed into one of the most prolific centers in the NBA.
I mean, to be honest
That-
with you, I knew that he wasn't going to be offensively the greatest thing of all time, but like after watching last year's playoffs, if he could get us 10 boards a night, that's all I care about. I mean, like,
And the greatest thing there is, I think we all expected him not to be the greatest offensive player.
yeah.
He's been excellent. He's
Mhm.
been absolutely excellent. We don't need 3-point shooting. We have Chet for that. He's almost averaging a double-double.
I am
mean-
still waiting on that I heart 3 to drop though. I
Yeah.
am saying.
Yeah, I agree. I had hope for the one tonight, but
Yeah.
one will come eventually.
I'm hoping before the year ends.
Jack, you want to get in here?
Yeah, I mean, what really sets him apart is most non-shooting big men. If they catch it on the perimeter, sit back, nothing's going to happen. If they shoot, it's fine. Isaiah Hartenstein is still a threat on the perimeter without having a 3-point shot. Like his
Yeah.
passing is so good, man. He dribbles into the action. There's no defender there. Boom, Shea's off. Yeah, it's like he's just got that basketball IQ, which is really lifting his teammates up and just our level of play, which is awesome to see. But
We have
Man.
we have Gabe from our own. He's one of our own in the comments on Instagram. Excellent beard game from Josh here. Some James Harden
yeah.
type stuff for real.
Dude, I'm telling you, I became a fan for a reason.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, I guess we get into a little bit of the specifics tonight. Shea, 30 points in 30 minutes. Kind of knew that was coming. At a
Yeah.
plus 31, Aaron Wiggins looked pretty damn good, especially from the 3-point line, which is good to see. 3 for 6 from 3. Chet did his thing. Isaiah 12 and 10. Jay Will. All right. Here's what I wanted to get into a little bit more. Jay Will doesn't get as many minutes as he does when the team isn't fully healthy, but he's starting to put up stat lines. He has 2 triple doubles in the last few weeks. And when he has full-time minutes, he had 23 minutes tonight. He put up 14, 5, and 4. Where do you think he fits come playoff time?
I don't know how he fits. I think that he probably plays spot minutes for us, depending on what team that we play. If we have a bigger lineup, like if we were to play Denver or something like that, he's definitely going to be a big utilized part. Because if we can't run 2 big men all the time, it's going to be nice to have him at least be able to play the 4 sometimes, maybe even the 5. Guard Jokic, guard Aaron Gordon. But with a smaller team, I don't see him affecting too much. I just see him as, I mean, he's a great player, but like you really got to fill a role and you really got to play when your time is called. But I think versus a smaller team, he's not as useful.
Right.
And if we go down the list, we got Shea, Hartenstein, Casey Wallace, Chet Holmgren, Wiggins, Caruso, and Isaiah Joe. So that's a 7-man rotation. You're not playing him over any of those. Dort as
Yeah.
Um,
well, and J-Dub. So that's 9.
And I mean,
so I guess
in all honesty, I wouldn't even. I would put Kenrich Williams ahead of him. I mean, like I love Jalen Williams, I love Jay Will, but like K Rich's hustle is undeniable.
I think
Mhm.
my take on it is appreciate that, Noah, by the way, on YouTube. But anyway, my take on it is exactly what Josh, what you were saying. I think he will be spot minute guy. I think if there is going to be a Denver series, I think he's going to be a huge factor in that Denver series, actually. We kind of saw it a little bit in the regular season games, especially this last week, like a week or 2 weeks ago in the back-to-back. But, yeah, I think he's a reliable guy. I mean, on defense, he takes so many charges. It's very underrated on his defense. He's developing into a well-rounded player. Great, I wouldn't say great, but good 3-point shot.
Yeah.
And just knows kind of how to control the pace. Kind of like a mini version of Isaiah, to be honest. Which, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. Noah, in the YouTube comments, where's Landon been? I think you know where he is, actually. Let me check out. Actually, Jack, you got anything?
Yeah, living up to his name, OKC Thunder meme. The Hornets may be a G League team. He's not wrong. Not wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing with the Hornets, they actually played their asses off last night against New York. They cooked New York, the Knicks, with LaMelo and Mark Williams. They got some young talent. I don't think it's going to lead them anywhere, but yeah, I mean, this version tonight of Charlotte was definitely G League tier.
Except for Seth Curry. Seth Curry could not miss.
Of course. I mean, the OKC rims, when away teams come in, they're real friendly.
Yeah.
This comment, I'm not going to pin it, but on YouTube by Carl, I think he's trolling. This win was so disappointing. How did we not win by more? They won by 35, Carl. I think he's lying. Actually, he is trolling. He said Shea low-key played like shit, so he's trolling.
Okay.
We got any Instagram comments we got to get to, Jack?
No, but I did have a. Oh, Josh, what are your thoughts on Wallace and the production he's been having? That's from the Instagram.
Dude, oh my God. I love Casey Wallace. Casey Wallace is probably one of my favorite draft picks over the past few years that we've had. I mean, aside from like Chet and, Jalen. But the amount of steals and his active hands are such a game changer for this team. I was actually about to ask y'all, who do y'all think is going to be the X factor for us in the playoffs? And my answer was Queso. I think that he is a good spot-up shooter. He could be better, but he's a good spot-up shooter. He's a great defender. And when Lou is out, at least you have somebody that you can honorably go to and have him guard the number one guy.
Yeah. I guess I could answer that question as well, since you were going to ask. Kaysen's fantastic. Kaysen is going to be huge in the playoffs. X factor. So my thing has been, I don't want to call him an X factor, but he's going to be. It's J-Dub.
Yeah.
Because last playoffs didn't go as well as we wanted it to. I mean, listen, it was his first playoff. I'd like to see a second playoff leap. I don't count the play-in as a playoff, so. He's going to be our X factor. But yeah, Kaysen, I actually think Kaysen's going to be steady throughout the playoffs. He was steady in that Dallas series last year. He's been fantastic for us, definitely down the stretch here. He's going to be playing huge minutes. I'd like to see where Mark goes with who he has on the court. That's our only question right now is, who's going to play and who's going to match up against who.
As for X factor for me, it's got to be Aaron Wiggins, I think. Just to have that scoring off the bench, and especially if it all goes bad like it did against Dallas when no one wants to put the ball in the hoop, having him, it'd be really good.
Yeah.
But there's an interesting YouTube comment which relates to something we've been chatting about a lot this week, but I'll chuck it on screen. Should we rest Shea for the rest of the season? No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Shea should get maybe the last game off. Maybe some spot games off here and there, but absolutely not. We need this guy to be ready. One point is he doesn't play in any third quarters. I know that's a stretch. He does play and fourth quarters. I mean, he does play in a lot of them, but there's been multiple times where he hasn't played the whole fourth quarter because we were up by too much, and he needs to be, ready and fully ready to play 48 minutes. I know he's not going to, but in that sense. So, yeah, my take is no.
I think it's a resounding no. I think that when it comes playoffs, momentum is a hell of a drug, It really is. It can carry you a long ways. I mean, momentum isn't going to be the thing that wins you a championship, but it can fucking help,
Yeah, absolutely. Going to the Instagram comments here. Macy Gallagher said, Wiggins is our X factor 100%. Here's the funniest thing. OKC has so many role players that they all could be the number one X factor. You could say Alex Caruso. You could say Isaiah Joe. You could say Casey Wallace. You could say Aaron Wiggins. There's just too many people, and I think they're all going to play outstanding. Josh, you already said you think Kaysen's our X factor, and I could completely agree with that. But yeah, let's keep moving on. Gabe, what's a team you want us to get in the first round? That's directed at Josh.
I mean, for like Shea rivalry setting, the Clippers. I really want us to see the Clippers. I think that would be a really good playoff matchup. I think that we sweep them, but I think that at least they give us a. I wouldn't say a run from for our money, but I mean we don't beat them by 20 every night.
Right. Yeah. I think if we play the Clippers, I have enough respect for Kawhi Leonard and James Harden that they could at least get one game.
Yeah.
I'd like them not to get two. But yeah, we definitely end up beating them in the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Lou and our defenders and everything, I think James Harden kind of becomes a non-factor. Even though he does have the most isolation points this season, which is a weird stat. But I think that if we have Lou and Kaysen, switching on and off on him, and even Kawhi, which I think that Double will be able to handle him, I think that we're gonna have no issues. Now, I think Denver in the second round would be more of a telling series, seeing how the playoffs is gonna go.
We have Macy Gallagher in the Instagram. Who don't we want in the first round? I don't want Minnesota or the Lakers.
Yeah,
Well, I don't believe we'll get the Lakers. Josh, your thoughts?
Minnesota, 100%. I think that Gobert. I think while he is very hated by fans, I think that he is very much so an asset to that team. And with him and Shea down there, I'm not saying that it's going to take Shea out of the conversation, but it's definitely going to make him a little bit harder to drive and get more of that cutting action. We're going to have to rely more on our shooting, and that's just not the team we are. So I'd rather not bet on that.
Right. So my thing with Minnesota is I don't want Minnesota in the first round because I don't want to have to play 6 games in the first round.
Yeah.
I absolutely think we beat Minnesota in a series. Not scared of Minnesota. I'm not scared of anybody in the West at the moment. But I don't want them to have to exert so much energy into the first round. That's how I can answer that. Jack, what do you think?
I think I'm cool with whatever, really. If we play what we know we can do, like if we play at our peak, or not even our peak, just play what we've been doing all season, we're cruising through the West, but it comes playoff time and it won't happen. So it just depends, really. But someone like Minnesota,
No, go ahead.
So I was just saying, someone like Minnesota, where a player like Anthony Edwards can just go off for a game, like that kind of thing scares me. I trust our defense, but anything can happen in the playoffs. So,
right, yeah. Anyway, we got a comment. Hoping J-Dub won't have a lot of rust when he gets back. I'll point this one to Josh. Let me hear your thoughts on that.
I don't think there will be. I mean, and even if there is, hopefully we can get him back for at least the last 7 games of the season, so we can knock off some of that rust. Let him have a bad game. Let him have 2 bad games. While we still have the chance for us, for him to have a bad game. Granted, I don't think he's going to need to play perfect in the playoffs. I think there are going to be moments where he has to be, but I think that when he's coming back, if you see his, him in press conferences and stuff, he seems fine. So I really don't think that this injury is that big of an issue.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Sorry, I had to put that up on the screen. I don't really worry about rust with J-Dub because, sure, maybe he does come back rusty. Maybe he does get the 7 games and he's still rusty going into the first round. I think our team with a rusty J-Dub in the first round still wins in 5, 4, whatever you want to call it. So let him shake the rust off in the first round. I prefer him not to be rusty, of course. But we'll have plenty of time for him to get back in form, and he should be coming back soon, so he'll be fine. Let me go back into this. This one's for Jack first. What do you think, Jack?
Well, from a fellow Jack, good name, but if he's on the roster, he wouldn't be playing. So, I don't think it matters whether he's on the roster or not. But he's showed some promise, and I really want him to stick around. But come playoff time, we'll cut that 9, 8 players. So even Josh, some great guys will be missing out.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we see Carlson in the playoffs, I think it's either because we got blown out or it's because iHeart and Chet fouled out. So I think
You're
that
missing one thing.
I mean no, I know that Jay will, but like
No. You said if we got blown out or they fouled out, what about we blow out the other team?
I mean yeah. Yeah, I mean obviously, but I don't know. I'm a fucking doomsday prepper. So like not actually, but like, I always think about the worst thing that could happen, and I know that's probably not the best thing in this situation. But
I
yeah, I'm
I don't think Carlson can play because he's on a two-way. So
Right.
he'd have to be
facts.
yeah.
Facts.
I'm gonna put this up for Carl on YouTube. We did go over this, but I'll go over this again. I'll just wrap it up quick. What we kind of said depends on matchup with Jay Will. He could be huge in a Denver series, but if it's a small ball lineup, maybe Jay Will get some minutes, but it's going to be spot minutes. So we'll have to see what Mark does. But appreciate the comment, Carl.
We've had a lot of comments about Flagler, Carlson, so I did want to touch on those garbage minute guys because Alex Dukas' defense really impressed me tonight. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's garbage time, last couple minutes, but that's how you make your way up. Like, and yeah, he might fuck around and make some noise,
Got a whole lot of guys on that bench that we don't even know about yet. So
And I've been one of the most vocal people about it, and I know that a lot of people don't like Dylan Jones on this team. I think it's way too early to tell about anything about him. Anything about him. I think that he's such a raw player right now that we're just trying to integrate him slowly. And I don't know. I think it's way too early to say anything about where he's going to be on the roster because I think he's still on the roster next year, but I think that he's probably more of a 11, 12, 13 man.
Yeah, absolutely. I see those OKC fans trashing on Jones and why is he on the team? Well, he's not even a player yet. There's no reason to trash a guy who just comes in and works. He works. That's it. So,
well, the biggest thing I see with it is people are comparing him to AJ Mitchell and like seeing how well AJ is integrated into the team.
Yeah, it's a good point. But they're not the same guy. So
facts.
Yeah, and I've said it again and again. I'm sure you guys have heard, but if we have 15 guys on our roster, if the 15th and 14th man are Ousmane Dieng and Dylan Jones, who are young players who could be who knows, why not? Is it like, would you rather Bismack Biyombo and Mike Muscala? Like, come on. As much as I like Mike Muscala, at least these guys could be something. Like, yeah.
Right.
We can't just fill out the roster with people we know won't be anything. But Ousmane Dieng could be a great player. And we just have him in the back, 15th man. Like,
waiting in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I am excited for when Sam decides to trade Usman for something, because I don't see us keeping Usman, to be honest with you. He's such a dynamic player, and I think that he just doesn't really fit our timeline. But maybe this is just a outright biased take, but I think that he's just such a good player for us to be having him on as a 12th man.
I have thought a lot about this, but I think if he's happy with being developed behind the scenes at the Thunder and he's cool just staying here, then I think he will stay. But if he's like, hey, Sam, I want to play a bit more, can you? And then I think it'll, out of respect, like he doesn't fit the timeline, we'll trade you, hope for the best. But if he's cool, like grinding it out and trying to become something and play for the Thunder, then I can see him for a couple more seasons, which I don't think everyone loves, but I don't mind it.
For me, Josh, this is what I've been saying with Ooze all season and just about OKC all season long. I think if they come up short, especially if they lose in like the second round this year, I think they're going to try to maybe look to go after another star. And Ooze would definitely be in that trade package. OKC goes far enough where we're like, okay, this team is definitely a contender, top team in the NBA. Say they win it or they are in the finals, or we saw like a really hard-fought 7-game series in the Western Conference Finals. I don't think there's any moves, any big ones, and Ooze would only be made available for a hefty return. He'd be part of, say, something like a Giannis trade, a KD trade, something like that.
I can't imagine we got Giannis. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to get to that point and we
Yeah.
just win it. But that's kind of what my thought process would be.
You know, and the thing that I'm really excited about this team is that like most people are under contract for the next like 2 or 3 years, so it's not
Oh, we're
like
locked in. We're locked
yeah,
in.
it's not like we don't have to make moves. You know, if we just keep on dominating like we have been, we could just literally just ride this thing out and just see how good we get.
Yeah, I mean, we're still the second youngest team in the league, I believe.
Mhm. Second or third.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Here's
Yeah.
a comment.
Yeah,
7-man rotation comes playoff time. Who makes it? So I guess they're asking us who makes our 7-man rotation.
So I'll answer this and then I'll say something and then I'll answer it. I don't think we'll have I think we're gonna have way more than the 7-man rotation because there's way too many players on this team. Way too many
Yeah.
great players on this team. You can't really make a 7-man rotation, but if I had to, Shea, Dort, Dub, Chet, Hartenstein, Kaysen, Wiggs.
Yeah.
Josh.
I mean, I would say the same. I mean, granted, I am more of a defensive oriented person. You know, I like my good defense. Like I said, Kaysen's one of my favorite players. I mean, other than maybe like an Alex Caruso nod or anything like that. I mean, like there's not really much. I mean, granted, he's just good on defense. But I would give it to Alex Caruso.
Over Wiggs.
Probably over Wiggs, just
Yeah.
for defense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I mean, there's too many guys to pick from.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. I'd probably have the same, but maybe swap Kaysen with Isaiah Joe.
That's
I
also
guess
a
it just
good one.
depends the flow of the game. Like, because we've got so many tools. If we need a 3-point shooter, Joe will come in. If we need more defense, Kaysen Caruso will come in. So
Exactly.
it just depends. There's too many factors for it.
I mean, and like you kind of said, it's kind of a loaded question. I mean, like we just have way too much talent to even think about shortening our rotation to 7 people.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which is awesome. With good problems to have.
Definitely good problems to have. But I guess I will wrap up our live there, Josh. Awesome, man. Thanks for coming
Dude,
on.
hell
Really
yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
For everyone else, we are live after every game. So, Josh, if you want to come back, awesome.
Dude, hell yeah.
Everyone else, just DM us on Instagram at Bring the Thunder Podcast. And look out tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. We will have our game recap of tonight's game up. But yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. Go like and subscribe on the YouTube at Bring the Thunder Podcast. We're on all socials. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. And we will see you guys next time.
Hell yeah. Thunder.